Yeah, it's red, so it's
We on?
Yeah.
Gosh, it's quite warm.
I haven't moved the camera though.
Would fire the cameras over there because they record the one that is driving, or?
Yeah, because usually it's a driving experience.
Ah, right.
Normally the person driving is just in the shot only.
But there's someone watching what they're doing, right? Or they can drive like.
Oh yeah, no, there'll be someone watching. There's someone, like I'd be sitting there where you are. It's just so they can take it home with them to show their friends that they drove a car. And the camera, one looks at the driver normally, and the other one looks over the bonnet, so they get an outside view at the same time.
Okay.
So is it your first time off-roading? Have you experienced that?
Yeah, well, we lived in Mexico for a long time, so the highways are pretty.
Like our off-road.
No, so you can call it sometimes.
Yeah, sort of in some way.
Yeah.
Just gonna open these gates.
But in a well-done manner, it's our first time. Yeah.
Okay. So in Mexico, they're not the smoothest of tarmac roads then?
No. To move to some towns, you have like rock-made highways.
Okay.
So it's like bumping all the time with a lot of curves.
Right. This is where the McLaren SLRs are normally kept. A few pounds worth. Over £300,000 brand new. Cars everywhere. This area here is where they start doing their driving and learn how the car handles. Not so much in pure performance, but just this is what a steering wheel does, that kind of thing. And as time goes on, they go to the track at the very end. Where you were, where we were driving around, is the next circuit.
Driving experience, you need to be like 18 or more, right?
No. As long as the kids are 1.5 meters tall, you can drive. So it's just going to hide the suspension slightly. So it's really good, the fact that 1.5 meters tall and you can then drive a vehicle. It's almost unheard of, really. So what's happening now, if you see on there, it's flashing away.
Yeah.
When the third light is lit, like the bottom one is now, we're on level 3 ride height.
Okay.
And that is the highest a car could be. So it enables you to... So we're going to do the biggest stuff we got. So what you're seeing here will put most people off.
Yeah.
If you were driving your normal car, chances are now you'd be turning yourself around and
Surely.
going 10 miles around the other way just to get on the other side of that. But not so much the case for the Mercedes. So you can just give it a little bit of power, but I'm only just touching it, just to get me to this point now, on the brakes, and the car will quite comfortably sit at this angle.
It's awesome.
If I come off the brake pedal, the car will give me 3 seconds and it won't move at all. So I can come completely off. And 3 seconds later, it starts to creak, goes backwards. So that's option 1. Option 2 is just giving it a bit more power right from the word go and go straight up.
Yeah, but you don't need that much distance.
No.
You're pretty close.
There's no run up. At the moment, where it's been quite dry and hot, it's like the Sahara Desert out there. There's nearly no water, it's just very, very dusty. That's the ejector seat for passengers. So, let's go up there. And this is where you speed, so be a little bit careful. You notice how smooth the road is here?
Yeah.
All this part is mostly clay, so we can never sort of dig into the floor, but we just tend to skate along the surface. In the rain, we can't come down here. It's just simply too slippery.
Yeah. And it's a heavy vehicle, so
Yeah, it's going to want to slide down that way all the time. And you've got the supermarket there, so we could end up in the supermarket. It's a little fox. It's quite a young fox. Get some trees in with us as well.
And what's harder to do, driving the circuit with the stunt or the
Sure, they're both equally difficult. Because out here, even though it's slower, it's a lot more technical. You've got to know what speed to do certain things and don't go over at that angle. That angle's okay, that's not okay.
Yeah. Which one do you prefer more?
Track. That's more my thing, but at the same time, this is still really good fun. Is this the kind of roads in back home, or is this what you drive on?
More or less.
Not
yeah,
quite as
more
bad.
similar. Yeah.
It's lovely and smooth. You can't even feel the bumps. Now the steps. As we got this, we need a fair bit of power and just do it in one go.
Okay.
So you try and go slowly, you get about 3 or 4 from the top, and then you can't get them all. Then you've got to reverse back down, which is horrendously bumpy. So we're going to give it plenty of power and go straight up it.
Okay.
Alright. So when you think this is a normal road car, it does very well at things like that.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
This part is probably the steepest area we've now got. Real high angle. You don't get too much of an idea until you actually start heading down it. So I'm going to go try and hold it as long as I can on the brakes.
It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah. So now on full braking, you can sit here all day long. Get the picnic out. Once you've got some kind of momentum, you then struggle to stop it. Even on full brakes, weight of the vehicle will push the car down the hill. And this is called the V Gully. See the mirrors run either side? You've got the 4 mirrors. Those you can see the wheels up in the air. So the first thing you're going to see is on your side.
Oh, yeah.
So the car's quite high in the air.
You couldn't go anywhere with this. You're in a jungle,
Yeah.
in the woods.
And all the tyres on the car now are all standard. No, they're not off-road spec. They're just normal road tyres. If you really had to, you could easily go off-road. Now these are the steps that we just come up. When you go down, they're fairly bumpy. So I'll do it nice and quick for you.
Okay.
Alright, no problem.
See, lovely and smooth.
It's
There's
amazing.
a little woodpecker. Don't see too many of them. Now these areas are pretty simple actually. This is just a bit of a mound in the floor. These aren't too much of a challenge. Some cars this would be. It wouldn't even get up this area. But the ML is so good it can pretty much do anything. All the stuff you think you should never be able to do, it can do it.
Yeah, and as I can see, you can never hit the car, right?
Yeah,
The fence, not.
No, nothing's ground, nothing's hit the bottom of the car. That's mainly down to the suspension. Because the car is higher off the ground now than what it is when you got in the car. It allows us to avoid most of the bumps. If that was right down on the floor, some bits would scrape underneath and you'd hear it bang.
But immediately you can turn the.
Yeah, so it's air suspension, so you can higher it off the ground.
And how can you know which level you need to use?
When they're lit up, so when the lights go all the way, like we're on level 1 now, it's going to level 2, so when it hits level 2 that will stop flashing, and so on and so on. 3 stops flashing. When you're coming down,
Because a normal car in these circumstances, without the water, it can be broke, right?
yeah, if you just drove through there in a normal car, you'd probably blow the engine up. And there you go. Good bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good to see. There's a thing you do in the water, and it's known as hydraulic, the engine. And what it is, if you go through too deep of water goes into the air intake, so the engine's sucking the air in. It will suck the water in. Water will go flying straight down into the combustion chamber,
Oh, okay.
where air would normally be,
Mhm.
and the pistons will try and compress it like air.
Yeah.
But water doesn't compress,
No.
so it just goes rock solid, blow the engine up. It's the end of your engine on the spot. And it doesn't take an awful lot of water to actually do that either. Excellent. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just turn on this camera for you.
Yep.
Ah,
The
not
camera
there,
is
is it?
right here. Yes.